How do you decide?
What?
How much if you're gonna tip your
If I'm
barber or
gonna tip my
not?
barber, if I get up and right when I get up, I look in that mirror like, yeah, Shy gonna give me some ass today. When she see me, she gonna tell me I look good when I get home. I'm giving him a tip. If I get up and the nigga took too long, I'm already pissed off. I look at it, don't look as crispy as I really wanted to, but I ain't trying to sit here no longer. She might tell me this, or I should have did this. He not getting no tip because I might not get no ass when I get home.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. Hopefully this thing is recording. So, as you can see, we're doing something a little different. I'm hoping that coming on the videos and talking while we're watching the clips will help us to kind of engage more. I know we get in the comments and we start chit-chatting all the things, but let me let y'all know. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos where I sit down and talk to you guys, just know you're not going to get no hairstyles, no makeup, or none of that. You're just going to get me sitting talking to you guys. And that's what it is. We're just going to sit back, chill, watch a couple videos together. So, all that to say, in today's video, we're going to be talking about tipping culture. How do you feel about tipping culture? I feel like, in my opinion, it's been a little toxic. And, you know, as a nail tech, how do I explain this? I like to get tipped. However, it's not required for me. But I will say, if a nail tech is doing my nails, I do tip. It doesn't matter how much they're charging and all the things. That's just because that's how I was raised. I come from old school, so you know my experience is different, and that's just how we tip. We do. Now, will I tip my braider? I don't know, but anyway. I'm not gonna ramble too much right here. Like I said, videos about the toxic tipping culture, and we're gonna kind of watch a couple videos and see how people feel about tipping, and then I'll interject as we go along. But yeah, guys, so let's get into the video and tell me how y'all like this setup. Tell me how y'all like it. Do y'all like it? Do y'all not like it? If y'all don't like it, it's too bad. We're just gonna get better. But yeah, let's get into the video.
I got my nails done. They're not the best, obviously. Right? Which is why I only tipped $10. She charged me $60. I just checked my bank account and why is there $160 pulled out for King Nails? What the f is that, bitch? My mom is going in right now. She was with me. She got her nails done too. She's smart, paid in cash. My dumb ass should have done the same fucking thing. But if she checks the receipt and it shows that—
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did she say $100 was taken out of her account? Okay, 100. I was listening, but $100. I'm wondering if they meant to do 10 and did 100. But all right, let's watch a little bit more and see what's going on. Okay.
there was $100 set as a tip, we're gonna have a problem. I would not have tipped more than the cost of the nails for this work. Boo Bear. Work. Boo Bear. No.
I'm at a loss for words. I mean, at that point, that is thievery, and I want to know what happened. Did she get her money back? What? See, that's why I have a problem sometimes with paying with the card with nail salons. I know that I've gone and tipped. For example, my eyebrows ain't done right now, but when my eyebrows be done though, I actually get them done at the nail place that I used to get my nails done at. And yeah, I ain't got no nails on because I ain't had time. I just want to come talk to y'all, get this video out because it's been a little bit of a minute now. Let's be for real. But when I did go get my little eyebrows done, I remember the lady asking me if I wanted to tip her in cash, and I was like, I just have card. And by right, I typically tip in cash because I know that they get a higher percentage if it's in cash, and if it's a little on the table, I ain't here to judge. But yeah, so that's fraud at this point. You have been scammed, man. So let's get into the next video, you guys.
I'm feeling like us women need to stop tipping nail techs. I don't mean no harm. Like, we gotta pay to breathe. When it come to getting our nails done, we gotta pay to breathe the same air as them. Bitch, we gotta pay for every little thing. Everything. Shape. Everything. All that's fine though. Bitch, just don't look at me for no tip though. Because what exactly am I tipping you for? I didn't pay for everything on my nails. What did you do that was so special? I'm confused. I'm not understanding why nail techs need tips. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay.
I feel like I shouldn't have to tip my braider. Like, am I wrong? So I've been going to this braider for quite a while because she always eats. And she always gives me the price beforehand because I've been going to her for a long time. But I'm conflicted. I feel like I shouldn't tip on top of paying her the price because she braids out of her house. And if you've ever had your hair braided by an African, you know what you have to deal with. Like, sometimes I'll go there and I'll be there on time, but she's busy cooking for her kids. She's tending to her husband, whatever it may be. And I'm like, you know what, girl, it's fine. Do you? Because you always come through for me. Like, that's fine. And I was talking to one of my friends and I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to tip her or not. Because the price that she's giving me, she's putting in her pocket, tax-free. And I feel like if she was in a salon or working somewhere or like had her own shop, I would tip because she has other expenses, right? She has booth rent. She's probably paying like a monthly fee to work wherever she's working. But she braids hair in the comfort of her own home. And I just feel like if you give me a price, that's your price. Like, why? I don't really see the point of like tipping. I feel like tipping culture lately, it's getting out of hand. And if you're going to like pocket the money fully 110%, I really don't see a need of tipping. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Okay. Let me pause it right there. Okay, so now this is kind of where I have a little bit of an issue. When you decide to base your tipping on where the service provider is, because true, she's in her house, like, you know, the young lady said, and yes, her braids are all that, but she still has a mortgage, rent, and all the things. I don't think you can base how you're going to tip people based on where they are. And that's just my opinion. I'm just tell you, just hear me out for a second. Like way back in the day, back when, you know, full sets was like $25 and all that good stuff. I used to work in a salon where it was 60-40, right? But at the same time, I also worked in salons where I had to pay booth rent. Then you have the salons where I might have owned the salon, you know what I mean? Either way, I still have overhead, right? And I still have supplies and I still have things. Now, the place that was 60-40, they paid us at the end of the week, right? And what we relied on was tips. Now, keep in mind, at 60-40, $20, $25, mind you, we ain't talking about manicures, because manicures are like $8. $8, right? So what you relied on for that day was your tips. You know what I mean? So in that sense, yes, we relied on tips. Right now, as you know, it stands, a lot of us service providers, we're in suites, we're in shops, we're in our houses, we're in different places, but we still have bills. So by right, she's right. You choose your price. And that's how I feel as a nail tech. I choose my price. So my price needs to cover all the things. I can't assume that you're going to tip me. I just can't make that assumption. You know what I mean? Because some of my clients tip, some don't. Some tip based on, so it depends. But I'm going to still need my money. And I need it to match what I did, right? So with that being said, I cannot make someone tip me. As a service provider that's planning their own prices, right? But as a person inside a salon where I'm working a 60-40, but how you know? How you know my money looking like? How you know I ain't paying my husband? How you know he ain't charging me rent and stuff? You know, you don't know. So that's just my opinion, but let's watch some more.
So I got a question for y'all. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow, hence is why my hair is in these two little puffs. And yes, I got grays. Mind your business, okay? Mind your business. Anyway, tomorrow I'm getting my hair done, and I just want to ask, like, do y'all be tipping y'all stylists when you go get your hair done at a shop or in somebody's house? Do you tip your stylist? Now, the reason why I ask this is because, like I said, my hair appointment is tomorrow, and I usually try to give $15 extra, $20 extra, depending on the person and how good they are. Now, the girl who doing my hair tomorrow, she is good. She is good, okay? So I already know my hair gonna be fire. After tomorrow, you can't say nothing to me because my hair is gonna be so cute. It's gonna be so cute. I got a trip coming up. You ain't gonna be able to say nothing to me. I'm changing my name, okay? Because I already know my hair is gonna be fire. So like, my name is no longer gonna be Rashonda. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. I gotta wait till the hair get on me and then I feel it. The name has to be a feeling. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. Let me just add one little thing. Now, your tip is contingent upon a few things. Because some of y'all be thinking y'all should get a tip and baby, like, money is hard enough to come by out here in these streets, and you think you just supposed to get a tip because you performed a service. That's not how this works. So first, were you on time? Because most of the time I book my appointments before I gotta go to work or I gotta be somewhere. So were you on time? Did you make me late because you was late? That's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to these hairstylists. I understand that y'all be having things to do, and I appreciate the ones that will tell you like, hey, I'm running 5 minutes late, blah blah blah, I'll give you $10 off your service or whatever. But the ones, the rest of y'all that just show up like being late is okay, that's not cool. You never know what that person got to do after that hair appointment. So you being late ain't doing nothing but pushing them back further. Second, did you actually give me what I want? Okay, does the hairstyle look like the way it was intended to look? If I showed you a picture, does it look like the...
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there because I feel her. I do feel her in right where she's talking about some. Did the hairstyle look like what I wanted? Because I have paid people to do hairstyles on my kids, specifically my daughter, and she asked for box braids, and baby girl came out with cornrows. How? Right? So did I tip? No, I didn't tip. And as a matter of fact, keep in mind, I had to pay for the hair. So you charging me $200 plus the hair, and you didn't do what I wanted to do, and you want me to tip? But I did. Let me tell you, I made tip. But when it comes to like services like braids, I will tip $20. It don't matter how much it costs because I'm not about to percentage wise nothing. Because at $300, we talking about $60 at 20%. We ain't doing all that. And nails, I may tip $10. So you know, but she right. She right. All right, let's get back into it.
Picture? Did it come out the way it was supposed to? Because if it didn't, honey, we got to talk about some things.
Oh, right.
And now you got to fix it. And now it's a whole, now we going back and forth about what I gave you, what you said, what I asked for, what I wanted, and what you delivered. So did the hairstyle actually come out the way it was supposed to? Lastly, were you professional? If you were gonna be late, did you tell me you was gonna be late? Did you offer me money off my service if you were late? Not saying that all stylists gotta do that, but some of y'all do, and I respect y'all. Did you,
Right.
Are you in there talking about everybody and everybody else's business? Or were you professional? You kept it, you know what I'm saying? You got a nice little suite for one person. It ain't an open shop, where I understand some places don't have a choice but to have an open shop. But are you in there talking about everybody and everybody else's business? Now I know Pookie them down the street, I know all their business. That's not what I came here for. I came here for a peaceful environment to get my hair done and go on about my day. And I wanted to look cute. Did you deliver that? That's what I wanted. Those are the main 3 things that I look for in a stylist, and those are the main 3 things that I base my tip off of. Like I said, the girl who do my hair, who's doing my hair tomorrow, she is real good. Branded by Bubbles. If y'all don't know her in Tampa, I'm telling you, sis will get you right. But yeah, like, I don't just be out here giving out tips. I try to tip people because yeah, they offering a service, but you gotta work for it. It ain't no thing you just give to the people. Now, no, that's not how this works.
Super quick question, but what are we tipping hairstylists these days? I'm getting my hair done for the first time in 2 years. I'm going to someone new. She does it from her home. And I remember seeing a video of someone saying if you get it done in a salon, you tip a percentage or whatever the case is. But if it's someone doing it out of their home, you tip differently. I don't quite understand why. So I don't know if it's just like, here's a standard $20 or am I tipping you a percentage?
Don't understand tipping in the hair, nails, and lashes industry. And I feel like I'm going to get hate for this, but I really don't get it. For example, let's say hair, nails, lashes, whatever the service is, you charge $120. It don't cost that, but you charge that. You charge $120 for the service, okay? I agree.
Hold on. She said $120. It don't cost that, but you charge that. It did cost that because they charged you that. How are you to determine what?
To pay you $120 for the service. That includes your time, physical labor, and the materials. That is $120 total. That's the service. $30 tip, $50 tip for what? We agreed you would do a service, and I would pay you this much for the service. The service is done. I paid. Why is there extra money? I would pay you extra if I inconvenienced you in some way and you had to do extra work, extra materials, or extra time. Outside of what it normally takes to do the service, including the materials, time, or labor, if you did more than usual, I would pay more than that. But you don't. I didn't say it cost $120. You said it cost $120. Include the tip in your price. If you want a $20 tip, charge $140. I don't like this attitude of looking at people sideways because they don't tip you for something you agreed to do for that price. People who work in restaurants make like $4 an hour. They rely on tips to have a normal wage. You make your own wage. You chose $120 as the price. You don't rely on tips. Every service is $120. I don't get it. Sorry.
Okay, so let me start right there real quick. Like she said, of course, service providers, they work on a different type of scale. So, they get paid like $4 or something per hour, plus they live off their tips. Like I said, back in the day, when it was $20 or $25 for a full set and it was 60-40, honey, we needed those tips because we relied on those tips on a daily basis. I mean, you literally, that's when we were cranking out nails at like 30 minutes and 45 minutes. And, they never let you work full time because they weren't trying to give you no benefits, But yeah, right now nails about, $40 at the cheap end. And if you need your $20, so she right, you need to put some money inside there. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like if I'm paying $75 for a service, that's what you said. That's what you're gonna get. Listen, y'all better not be talking about me. I mean, we're doing something new, okay? I might come up here a little bit fresh, I don't know. But anyway, let's get this video.
How much do you tip your hairstylist or barber? I saw a hairstylist on Instagram say her customer tipped her $150. So now I'm thinking, am I not tipping enough? How much you guys tip?
Not $150. Absolutely not. I don't even think I would take $150 from a client. Not unless I'm doing some extravagant service like one of them $1,000 nails. Would I take $150? Because I feel like at $150, I might have to watch your kids or something. You don't expect me to do something crazy for $150 tip. Why would I'm looking for that video because why are you tipping $150? I need more context. But
what are my thoughts on tipping your barber? Let's get into it. So first of all, tips are always appreciated, never expected. I charge what I charge, and that's what you owe me. You don't owe me a penny over that. So I never get mad or upset when somebody doesn't tip. I have some people that come in and pay me $80 plus, and I've got other people who come in and pay me exactly what I charge. And you know what? All those clients are still cool to me. I don't care if you tip me $100 or you tip me $0. My price is my price. You paid me what I charge, we're cool. Year after year after year, these clients have afforded me the ability to have taken an art form and turned it into a living for myself and my family. I can't ask for anything more than that. Now, I will say, my clients who go above and beyond to tip well every single time, when it's time and they need somebody to squeeze them in or stay late for them, I will go above and beyond for them the same way that they go above and beyond for me. So if you appreciate your barber, throw them some extra money.
I've been seeing a lot of people talk about tipping in the beauty industry, especially tipping their service provider, especially the solo service providers. And for the girlies who are in the industry, we should be setting our prices. 2 points that tipping is not necessarily mandatory or you're depending on that. As solo service providers, I don't think that we should be offended if one of our clients doesn't tip. We make up the menu, we make up the service prices. So our tip should just be a thank you or a gift, and that's all it should be seen as. Some of my clients tip, some of them don't. Either way, my prices are set so that I can pay my bills, pay my overhead, make sure I have stock and stuff like that. So a tip is just them saying like thank you if they want to, and if they can't. I've had clients that are like, girl, I can't tip you today. That's totally fine. Like, you being here, sharing everything with me, talking to me is just more of a thank you than anything. I don't think we should be pushing people like, oh, you have to tip. It is not mandatory. You can hit 0. I don't watch. Some people send me through Zelle. If they send extra, they do. If they don't, it's not a big deal. My prices are set so that whether they tip or not, I'm always going to be okay. I do not expect a tip from any of my clients. now that we live in a society where everybody is asking for a tip, it's a little annoying. So I completely understand when somebody's like, I'm not tipping nobody else, I'm not tipping no more. It's okay. My prices are set to a point where I don't have to depend on your tip. I'm very grateful if you want to leave one. If you don't want to leave one, I'm not tripping. You got to do what you got to do. It's not that big of a deal if someone doesn't tip you. Set your prices accordingly so you don't feel like it's hurting you, if that makes sense.
And I agree with her because, everybody does not have the money to tip. They may just have enough just to get that service done on that day. They may have that's not my business. I charge what I charge. If you tip me, I'm thankful for it. If you don't, then you just don't. I mean, it is what it is. And what I will say, the reason why I even did this video, I went to this restaurant that, we typically go to, and it's a 24-hour restaurant. So you can order at the window. Didn't go into the restaurant, ordered from the window. Literally what I want is like on this side of the thing. So she opens a little glass thing, she gets you your things, and that's it. It happened to be really, really crowded because it was like whatever. Valentine's, don't ask me why I was just at the little. We we love this place. So we went to the little place, got the little food, but it was a line there. So it was a line. We waited a while. They were kind of running in and out or whatever. Fine, you know what I mean? I'm patient. I see there's a crowd, whatever. So they finally get to me, but when they get to me, they leave. And then, they're packing up everybody else's stuff because they're working multiple windows, because there's a window where you order with two young ladies, and then there's another window where they're dropping off food. Then you have people making food in the back or whatever. So they leave, and I guess they're making other food. So now I'm just kind of standing there. Cool, no problem. So anyway, they get to me, they ask me my order. My order is simple. You get my order right here at the thing, because I'm like, I want this, that, and the other, right? My order comes up about $20-something. You just gave it to me. You gave it to me. Then she tells me my total. She turns the thing around, and then she looks down at the thing with the tip. Girl, I will not be intimidated into tipping. I will not do it, because you literally did not provide me a service, right? And they had a tip jar there. Had she said, like, I recommend this, I do that, or, whatever, or, oh, I'm so sorry, whatever, and made like a, I don't know, some type of rapport with me, I probably would have felt obligated to tip. However, I did not feel obligated to tip, because you literally are getting stuff for me and you are working here. Yeah, I mean, in that case, I think depending on the day, I might feel obligated to tip, because when they turn around, they look down at it, you like, let me put a little something there, because I don't want them to look at me crazy. But no, I ain't about to do that. I've gone to a store, a clothing store, and the thing asked for a tip. So yeah, I don't care how you look at that thing, you ain't getting no tip. But that's just me. Y'all, it's getting a little ridiculous. So I felt the need to do this video mainly because of that. But let's get back into the video.
Oh, I'm beating the out of you. I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing. This topic gets everybody's like panties in a twist, and people who don't provide services, they like hate us for this. But my opinion on tipping is I treat others how I would want to be treated. I tip my service providers, my nail tech, my lash tech, my hairstylist. Now, if I'm at Subway and you're making me a sandwich, unless you're like nice to me, I'm not gonna tip you. But if you're nice to me, I'm gonna it all depends on like the person, If the service is like complete shit, I still may tip, just because like that's how I was raised. But that doesn't mean like you should tip if the service is shit, you know what I mean? But like if you're at your job and someone gives you $10, you're gonna be happy, right? So it's like, it's always appreciated. It's not like necessary. I feel like if you're getting pissed off because people aren't tipping you, then your prices should be set in a way where like you don't need a tip. But I will say, the clients that do tip me, when they need favors, like I'm so happy to do it, because argue with your mother, but if someone's telling you you're gonna get paid $160 versus you're gonna get paid $140, you're gonna take the $160, right? So that's just how it is. If a client that even tips me $5-10, if she messages me for a squeeze-in last minute, I may not charge her a squeeze-in fee, because okay, this person is always tipping me, she's always like on time, she respects me, and I'm gonna do this for her. Versus someone who doesn't, I'm gonna charge them the squeeze-in fee, because you see what I'm saying? Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying.
Hold on now. If y'all hear some stuff in the background. I'm actually looking out the window, and there are people walking out. It's not my kids in the background screaming for help. Trust and believe. But let's get into the video. Want y'all kind of people on me.
Now, honestly, I had an interesting conversation yesterday with one of my beautiful clients slash colleagues because she's in the beauty industry. And she was just sharing with me that she had a customer that she didn't want to take anymore because she didn't leave her a tip. And I really had to sit back and ask her why. Now, I've been in the beauty industry for 7 years, and personally, I don't expect customers to tip me, and I'll explain to you why. One is no one forced me to be in the beauty industry or service-based industry, right? This is something that I love to do, that I'm passionate about. And then two, I literally created my own service menu. So I decided and took the time that this is the service that I want to provide. This is the time duration that I'm going to do it in. And this is how much money I'm willing to take or I'm going to charge for that. So it's already like an even exchange before the client even books with you, because it's something that you decided for yourself, right? And then three, you just don't know someone's personal financial situation. And she explained, yeah, I get it. But if they don't have the money, I personally believe that they shouldn't be going out or getting the service. And then I had to sit back and say, whoa, that was a really privileged mindset, right? Because you don't know their situation. Now, I personally have been a single mother before in the past, living paycheck to paycheck. I was raised by a single mother who raised 5 kids. And I know what it feels like to work your ass off, to be exhausted, to be on a budget and want to treat yourself with something, right? You may only have the money to cover the service, but not the tip. Now, keep in mind, maybe you don't get a tip because they didn't like their service or experience. So it's something that you may have to self-evaluate. But until you walk in someone's shoes, you don't know how much they're getting paid an hour. You don't know what it's like to live on your own. You still live with your mother. You don't have a lot of financial responsibilities. It's a really privileged mindset. And she said, you know what? I've never thought about that way. And that really opens up my perspective. And I just kind of always had a narrow mindset of how I think things should be. So I felt like it was a great topic to really bring some dialogue and conversation. Do you expect your customers to tip you? Why and why not? Now, I have clients who book me every 2 to 3 weeks like clockwork and don't tip me at all. And I feel no way about it, negative or positive, because they're returning loyal clients that spend their hard-earned money with me over years, right?
So let's pause right there real quick. Yeah, I honestly, the $5 tip versus the longevity of a customer, reoccurring customer. Listen, that says a million and one things to me. Those are a million things, in my opinion. I have clients, like I said, that tip and that don't tip. The fact that they're coming back and they have paid the price that I've asked them to pay, I could care less whether you tip me or not. Usually the conversation, the camaraderie, the fact that you are my client and I can close my books because you keep coming back, honey, you don't ever have to tip me. And why is my hair getting on my nerves? But this is why I can't do these videos like this. But I'm gonna have to get it together. But in my opinion, yeah, you can't tell somebody that they shouldn't get their nails done because they can't afford it. What? Why you can't? People see, certain people don't have no business in the service industry, in my opinion, because yes, they should treat themselves, and coming to you should be a treat. You know, you should let them enjoy that. Maybe she would have found an extra dollar or two to tip you if you had a better attitude. I'm just saying. Let's get into the next video.
Okay, real quick, how much do you guys tip your nail techs? I just got my nails and I hate them, by the way, so don't look too close. But I still tipped her 20% because it took her a long time, right? For my pedicure, I usually tip $5 because it's regular polish, no gel, woo-woo. And I feel like it doesn't take much effort, right? And they're usually done before the nails. Anyways, but now I'm doing the math and I'm like 15 to 20% of that should have been like $7 to $9. So now I'm feeling guilty. Like, do I go back and tip her a couple more bucks? Or is $5 enough? Is tipping getting out of hand? Am I not doing the math? I don't know.
Factor my tip into my price. I'm not really a fan of tipping culture in our industry. It's kind of awkward. Babe, just factor your tip into your price if you're that desperate for it. And tell your clients, one, they all appreciate that because they don't feel uncomfortable. Sometimes they still tip me.
Yeah.
Okay, which is awesome. But I tell them, I'd rather you buy retail. That's a bigger tip for me, but it's also going to help me with your next service. And it's actually going to do something for you at home.
Yeah.
So if you really want to tip me, buy something from me.
Now that's a different perspective. I never even thought about that, probably because I don't sell retail. However, I don't think I've ever got into a conversation honestly with my clients about tipping. I just haven't. And if the lighting changes, because it's getting a little dark, y'all. But yeah, I don't think I've actually had a conversation with my clientele about, tipping. If they tip, they tip. If they don't, they don't. If they ask me about it, maybe we'll talk about it. But I've never really had a conversation. But yeah, let's get into this video. Let's get back into this video. This one looks pretty interesting. And this is about barbers.
I can't lie, one thing about me, I love money and I love tips. Will a tip make up for you being late? Yes, it will. Will a tip maybe get you squeezed in on a busy day? Yes, it will. But one thing I understand about tips is they not mandatory. Y'all barbers and stylists need to stop going on this platform and bashing them clients that are not tipping y'all. It's not their fault that you charging a price that you not okay with getting. At the end of the day, I base my prices off a price I'm okay with getting if I don't get tipped. You know what I'm saying? If I do a client and they don't tip me, I'm still content with the money that I just got for the work I did. A tip is always appreciated, but it's not required. Even if you one of them clients that I know don't tip, that's not going to change the quality of service that you about to get from me. You're not going to get less quality of service than what I promised you just because you didn't tip. I'm still going to have good customer service with you. You still going to get the quality of service that you deserve for paying my price. You feel me? A tip, of course, has perks because, hey, money talk. I can't lie. That's just society. It's how we in. We don't got to talk about that. But at the end of the day, a tip is not required, y'all. So stop putting the pressure on these clients and being rude to these clients and go ahead and mistreating these clients that aren't tipping y'all. If that's the case, then up your prices, gang. Up your price.
Okay, let's talk about what I think you should be tipping your hairstylist, coming from a hairstylist. And I want to know other hairstylist opinions on this because obviously we all have different opinions, and I think my opinion is different than most other stylists, so I want to give my 2 cents. So I never expect tips from my clients, and I will say most of my clients do tip me, but I do have some clients that don't tip me and I love them just the same. And also, I'm never taking mental notes of like who's tipping me, who's not. The only time I'm really doing that is when someone tips me like a really great amount, and then I'm like, okay, she gets a little bit of special treatment from now. If you're giving me $100 tip, like I'm giving you a little bit of special treatment. I'm giving you, whatever. But I don't expect tips. I feel like my prices have gone up over the last couple of years because the world has gotten so expensive over the last couple of years, and I'm well aware of how expensive the world has gotten. And so I'm also well aware that people are saving up to come get their hair done. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you can't tip me, baby, pay your rent. Pay your rent. You know what I mean? Like, I will never look at one of my clients differently if they don't tip me. I'll never look at them differently if they only tip me like $5. Like, that's just not happening. I obviously always appreciate tips, and I do, when clients are going to check out, it comes up the option for them to tip or not, and that's up to them. I don't know, like maybe sometimes, I feel like sometimes people feel obligated, so I do try to say at the end of my service like, oh, it's optional, whatever, and then it'll ask you about a receipt. I try to make it like not awkward, because obviously I want to tip, obviously, but I'm not like up in arms like some stylists about not getting tipped. So, but what I will say about the tipping culture, it's gotten crazy. I'm going through a drive-thru and you're asking me to tip, like that is nuts. But I am the type of person that I do believe what goes around comes around. So if there's a tipping option, and I also just don't like when people are like mad at me and I just never know who's gonna be like mad at me or not. So I'm tipping 20% every time. Like every time there's a tipping option, I just can't help myself, even if they didn't do anything for me. So my advice to hairstylists who get so mad about not getting tipped, raise your prices to what you would want it to be if they tipped you. You know what I mean? The world has gotten so expensive. Raise your prices and don't feel bad about it, because the clients who want to still come to you will still come to you. I promise. And if you're a client and you tip your hairstylist well, I love you. And if you're a client and you don't tip your stylist, I still love you, because we live in an expensive world and I get it, and I don't want my clients to not be able to feed their family because they tipped me.
Do y'all tip out all y'all services? Have y'all seen that video that girl was explaining how she paid $350? Ignore my lash on this side, they clusters, and I pulled the end out. But anyways, the girl paid $350, and I think she said she was getting her hair braided for 7.5 hours, and she didn't tip. And in the video, she goes on to explain the reason she did not tip. The first one being that First of all, she has the trouble to the hairstylist. It's not like the hairstylist came to her house. It was not a home appointment. She had to do the most inconvenient way of payment, which was by cash. Because, everybody does card, Apple Pay, Cash App, Zelle. She had to pay in cash. So she had to go to the ATM. And she just didn't feel that it was necessary to tip her. Like, you're already getting paid $350 for some small, short knotless, like French curl braids. If they was butt length, I would have been like, okay. But in the video, they literally start right, like, come on. And I just want to know, like, do y'all be tipping? Like, do y'all feel like tipping is mandatory? Because personally, y'all finna hate me, but I feel like tipping is optional no matter what aspect it's in. Whether it's a restaurant, a bar, you're a little cashier at a Subway place, you doing my nails, you doing my hair, you deliver my pizza. Like, I feel like tipping was once this thing that was supposed to be optional that has now became this, like, expected thing. And I feel bad because the girl said she felt really anxious about not tipping. But you shouldn't feel anxious about not doing something that people shouldn't be expecting of you. It's something that you should feel like you want to do, not that you have to do it. Like, majority of the time, I tip people. And sometimes it's not even because, like, I've had the most spectacular experience and I just want to show them gratitude. Sometimes it is literally because I just feel awkward because I'm just like, damn, like, you just typed in my amount, swung this iPad around with a big tip screen, like, what do I do now? At bars and restaurants, yes, I always tip because, yes, I know you guys are getting paid and it's probably not that much and you guys are on your feet. You're going up back and forth for me. Like, yes, you're getting paid to do your job, but I feel like that's a certain aspect where, like, yeah, it's, like, yes, it's optional. But I know it's a business that relies heavily on tips, so I'd be trying to include a little bit extra, But when it comes to hair, lashes, makeup, nails, yes, I tip when I get these services done. But I don't feel like I have to. Like, if I decide that I don't want to, then I won't. And no shade, I hate when businesses post like, oh, don't forget to tap your nail stylist. Don't forget to tip your hairstylist. Don't forget to tip the slash artist and this person, that. And it's like, bro, you should not be basing your prices off of getting tips. Like, you should be able to be like, okay, if I have 10 customers today and none of them give me a tip, I still am in profit. Like, I'm good. Like, let the tips just be a little add-on. But to post it, it's like, girl, that's optional. How you posting don't forget to tip? Baby, I ain't forget. I just didn't want to.
Ooh, child. I was going to say something when she said she wasn't tipping the pizza people, bartenders, and all those places, because those places do rely on tips. So I would hope that you're still tipping them. The percentage is up to you. 20% should be minimum. But then I have seen some places, I don't know.
Okay, if you've ever been to a salon, this question is for you. If your hairstylist stopped accepting tips, how would that make you feel? I went gratuity free a year ago and I've learned a lot since then, and I'm so glad that I actually did go gratuity free. I know it's not for everybody, and I know that a lot of hairstylists are arguing about this on the internet. But I'm at a point in my career where I set my own pricing, and my haircuts and my services have gotten to a point where they're expensive enough that I feel like asking for a gratuity on top of that really, I don't know, it's kind of rude in a sense. And I don't expect it. The thing is, like, what I learned from the client's perspective is that there was actually anxiety around tipping and how much people tipped, because they felt like if they didn't leave a big enough tip, that I wouldn't want them as a client, or that, I would drop them or not do as good of a job. But I would never feel that way. But I just want to know, from your perspective, would it make you feel better, or are you all about the gratuity? So let me know what you think.
Oh my gosh, not y'all coming from my freaking clients. Like, what the heck? I appreciate every tip that I receive. I don't even expect tips. I put in what I feel like I deserve into the amount of how much I charge for my services. So whatever tip that is on top of that is so appreciated. It's so not necessary. I feel like getting your hair done is already expensive, like, because stylists have to pay for their suite, stylists have to pay for so many hair products, stylists have to still be able to pay their bills, the economy is high, everything is high. So if you tip me, it's so appreciated. Like, I'm not expecting any tip. Like, people need to still be able to get their hair done, their nails done, their lashes done at an affordable price. And sometimes people just can't afford anything extra, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I always appreciate tips. But yeah, guys, relax. I'm good.
I am here to say that tips are appreciated, but they're not expected. However, there is some etiquette I think it's still important to follow if you decide that you're not going to tip. And this is talking about tipping if you really loved and appreciated the service, not not tipping because you didn't like what you were provided. That's a whole nother story. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Number one would be arguing the price, either jokingly or serious, saying things like, ooh, it costs that much, or girl, you breaking my pockets. And then proceeding to not tip after the service is going to leave me as a service provider thinking maybe she thought this cost too much and then she didn't like her hair. Number two would be express appreciation while you're in the chair. If you love your hair, please say it. Say, oh my gosh, I love this. These are the best braids I've ever had. My hair looks great. Yes. Not just take the mirror and say, it's fine. And then walk out and proceed to not tip. Again, it looks like maybe she didn't like her hair. And for us who it's our hair is our art, we go to bed at night like wondering, ooh, did she like her hair? Or maybe I should have curled it differently. She didn't leave a tip and she didn't really seem happy, so I'm not sure. So if you are happy with the service and you're not going to tip, just make sure that you tell the stylist that you love your hair. Make sure she knows. And number three would be do not gatekeep. So we see the impact that this app in general has on other people's businesses when a client comes on and has a bad experience, right? They come on and give you their hair horror story about what happened and everyone's in a comment like, girl, tag them. Who did your hair? Or we're in the culture of leaving a review only when we've had a bad experience. However, it is the opposite of when we have an absolutely amazing experience. Our first thought is not to go and leave a review. We're not posting on social media about how great our experience is. We're not telling our friends. We actually have a little bit of culture of gatekeeping and maybe saying, I don't want to tell anybody about this person because I don't want them to get booked and busy and I want to keep them all to myself.
Listen, I'm gonna need y'all to tell all about me. But yeah, she has some really good points. But yeah, y'all, that's it and that's all. It has gotten dark. So the lighting has changed. Like I said, this is something new that I'm trying. So we're gonna see how, this works out. I'll figure out my lighting situation, all the things. But I wanted to make sure I got a video out to you guys in this format. But back to the tipping culture. I mean, how y'all feel about it for real, for real? If you made it to this part of the video, make sure y'all put like some nails or something in the little comments. I know that you made it this far. You're a true MVP. But yeah, y'all, I mean, let's get in the comments. Let's talk about it. Like I said, it can be toxic, but I will tell you, the ones that tip me and tip me well, listen, you can call me and tell me that your toenail chipped off because you ran into the garbage can and ran over something else, and I'm gonna still take you. And probably not gonna charge you because guess what? You got me. You have taken care of me, so I'm gonna take care of you. So just keep that in mind when you're getting ready to decide whether you're gonna tip or not. If you don't have enough and you do not feel like tipping, then don't tip. And don't feel bad about it. I mean, I feel bad about it. But that's me. But until the next video, guys, as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and comment and share all the things. Listen, don't talk about me and don't talk about me. All right, guys.
Bye.